sure all of us have played OC before and obsessed over that next PP milestone, and I'm sure I've been there as well. I have been, but in this video I just want to talk about something related to that topic, which is the new proposed PP rework. And if you haven't heard about it by now, it did release like kind of today or something, I don't know, but one of my friends showed me and I was taking a look into that and calculating my own shit. But basically, in a nutshell, what this new proposed PP rework does is that it buffs consistency, precision, and nerfs streams and maps of sudden diff spikes. So that kind of means that it nerfs a lot of flow aim shit. So if you're playing Sidetrack Day in particular, if you had a 500 on that and then you get with this new PP rework, that shit is now like a 400. That is like pretty bad. Also the maps with the sudden diff spikes. So if you're playing some Sotark's DT jump map where like half of the map is AFK, like it's more AFK than if you were playing NASA's top, and then you suddenly get into the crazy sudden diff spike when your jungler ganks you in the middle of the game, well, boom. Those maps also get nerfed like hell. So if you're a D ranker, like one of my friends that want the freaking D rank, and you have a bunch of those Sotark's DT jump maps, well, this is your time to shine. But anyways, that's kind of what the gist of the PP rework is, and from my understanding of it, there might be more, but this does basically nerf a lot of players like a Kali bed, for example. Like that guy loses like 1300 PP raw. Me personally, I gain a shit ton of ranks from this. I get like plus 300 PP. Like I'm gonna send a link in the description below where it's like a website where you put into to queue your user ID and then you wait a bit for it to spit out your username, and then you search it up into the query, and then you find your profile and you can see if you got buffed or nerfed. But in general, if you have a bunch of streams and a bunch of DT jumps in your tops, and you're kind of gonna get nerfed. Me personally, my skill set isn't exactly super common, where I basically play a lot of finger control-y consistent stuff like low AR DT. Like that's kind of what I have in my top plays. I mean, nowadays I don't really play that much anymore because I like to play more consistently instead, because I think it's more fun, and because when I was just playing on that only finger control grind, I could not improve into other areas. Like I got so fucking stagnant with my performance. But I just want to give my thoughts about this PP rework. So in general, personally, I really like this PP rework because I get buffed so hard. But some of my friends who play streams, they get nerfed hella. Like one of my friends, his username Fancy Bro Dude. As we can see in his profile, he gets so nerfed to like one of his 500s in Sidetrack Day gets nerfed to 400, which is kind of absurd because Sidetrack Day is one of those maps where it's a lot of like AFK sleeper for half the map, and then you have these bits of just crazy flowy streams, and that's where most of the PP of Sidetrack Day comes from. That's kind of why a Kali bed also got crazy nerfed, because that type of map got nerfed. And what's also kind of cool about this PP rework is that Cookie Z finally gets a freaking 1k. Like on the calculator, his top play is the Hikari map, which is a fucking crazy. Like it is precision and it is consistently difficult throughout, so it makes sense that it will get buffed like that. But that's like an insane buff, and I like that because Cookie Z is one of my biggest inspirations, and I see that shit and I'm like, dude, that is so fire. What do I think about this PP rework in terms of the direction of Osu? I think in general, I think it's pretty good, honestly. I'm a bit more biased in that I think that more consistency and Osu should be more rewarded, as it kind of reflects more on your skill instead of just having crazy diff spikes throughout that give you the crazy like amount of PP. Because you could just hit like a 10-second god mode and then you can FC the map and you get a shit ton of PP just from that one section, and like the rest of the map doesn't exactly represent that amount of PP you got. Like for example, Sotark's DT jump maps, right? Half the map is just basically 200 PP, but then there's just one part where it's just like craziness, and that makes the map suddenly worth 600, which is pretty crazy to me. I think it is a good step in the direction where it does nerf those type of easily farmable maps. Like I, for one, am biased because I don't really like playing those maps, and they're not really in my top plays because I don't really like playing them. And it's not because I hate the maps. Like I think they're pretty fun, but it's just that I find them really boring, and that's probably why my aim is shit. but besides those things about the PP rework, I would also like if this PP rework were to have more rewards you just for your overall performance in the map, because I think one of the biggest problems of the Osu, how PP is rewarded in Osu, is that it depends so much on your overall combo, like compared to like the rest of your map. which determines how much PP you get from the map instead of like your overall performance. Because like, for example, if you're playing through a crazy map and then in the middle of it you get like one miss on something stupid, but then you FC the rest of it, right? You only have that one miss and you got like 98%, right? You're only going to get like half of the PP that the map should give, when in reality you should probably maybe get like 95% of the PP of the map. I really like how Mania rewards you with the PP, because Mania gives you PP based off how well your act is basically, and that kind of is reflective on your overall performance in the map. And I really like that based off Mania. I mean, I don't fully understand it because I'm a noob at Mania. I only have like 100 PP top play on that. I would really like if Mania PP system was in the OSU standard, but I know that's probably not going to happen. That's just like a very far-fetched wish of mine. But I think a step in a direction where it rewards you for your overall performance instead of like rewarding specific skill sets in this manner, because as you can see in this PP Rework, streams on DT jump maps are pretty much going to get nerfed and consistency is buffed, which is pretty cool. But there's definitely some factions in the OC community that are not going to like this rework, especially those who mainly main DT jumps or streams. Those guys are not going to like this rework because they've been playing those for their whole time. Yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say about this PP rework, because it's kind of been on my mind lately, like ever since I saw it today. I mean, it's just been on my mind for the last few hours, and I just wanted to make a video about it in case people don't really know about this new PP rework. But I should have said this in the beginning of this video, but as a disclaimer, this is not a PP rework that's 100% going to happen. It is just proposed. Like, that's to my understanding. So it's not like this is an absolute truth where this PP rework will actually go into the OC game, but it most likely will from what I've seen. But I would be pretty hyped for it because I get like plus 300 raw PP, which is freaking hype, and I get buffed in maps that I wouldn't even like imagine. Like, there's also one map in my tops where it's literally a double tap map. I don't know why it gets buffed so hard, but I have a 95% FC on it, right? Map is literally just finger control, like 278 BPM finger control, and then it goes into crazy double taps, which isn't even that hard. But I don't know, it gets buffed like crazy. It goes from like a 360 to like a 500. I don't really know, maybe that's like the new farm map, that's a new meta. I mean, I'll go freaking push that ack and farm that if that's going to be the new meta. So yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say. And yeah.